Ray.
Yes. Woo! That's how we do it. Professional. But to be fair, we haven't had this amount of technical issues for probably 3 years.
No, that mic tends to fuck up on my laptop a lot.
Yeah, we fix it.
We do, and yeah, I blame Zoom updates.
I also do.
Warning, this podcast may contain bad language and content and the usual stuff that I normally say that listeners may find offensive, or it might just be really nice. Who knows? We're definitely not all slightly annoyed about the technical issues that happened before we came on air.
I am.
Apart from T. And also me a little bit.
I'm just ready to see what the topic's all about and what the hell's even happening today. No prior warning.
Well, we'll see, because I also don't know. But I'm easy breezy. So let's get Cleavesy.
Oh gosh. Okay.
Welcome back to City Soul Podcast, the show that is the mystery box of podcasts. Will it have candy? Will it have a dead rabbit? I don't know.
Candy.
Yeah, well, we have a lot of American listeners.
We don't call it candy here.
What do you call it?
Sweets.
Hot and floss.
What do they call candy chocolate? Is that candy?
All right. Well, sorry to the 65% of our listenership which are American. Selina doesn't like you. So
I didn't say that. I just don't know why we're speaking in there.
No, you don't have to say it. It's just whenever the US is mentioned and you go, oh, sort of tells them what they need to know.
We had a good American guest recently that may or may not be out before this episode.
It will not.
There you go. We've got a good American guest coming up.
Yep,
we do.
Okay. Before we jump into this mystery topic, do we have any QBN?
I've got everything for you this week. I was going to ask you how you're getting along, but
okay, we can do that first if you want.
Go on. How you doing, T? Why don't you go first for once? Take a load off, fella.
I am doing all right.
Anything new and improved with you? How's the dog?
He's doing a lot better. He's not 100% yet. Went to the vet today. He still has one of his paws still a little bit poorly, but he's doing better. He has another week of rest, just to make sure that he doesn't hurt it anymore and get infection or anything like that. But he'll be fine. He's just getting a bit, he wants to go out and walk and do all sorts of things, but he hasn't really been able to. But he's doing better. He's doing better.
How did he get his paws to be like that?
In the Peak District, walking.
Yeah. Particularly mountainous, was it?
I don't know. I wasn't there.
Okay. do you know like how it came about? I know it's walking, but like there's walking and there's like walking.
I don't know. I'm conveying the details that I know.
You sound like a really responsible dog owner, guide dog owner.
Oh shit, son.
Thanks, Selina. That makes takes the load off my heart of anguish when I found out he was hurt.
In terms of walkers, what are your favorite type of walkers? The crisps, the dog, or the zombies?
Neither, really. Don't really have a strong opinion about any.
You have to pick one.
I haven't really seen The Walking Dead.
Well, that's good news.
The crisps are fine, I guess.
Made in Leicester.
Are they really?
Right. Yeah. Another reason not to go. The blandest of crisps.
Oh, tell that to Selina, whose favorite flavor is plain.
Yep, already so good.
Wow. The blandest flavour, the blandest crisps in the blandest city in the UK.
Oh, Leicester's all right. It's got the Tigers ground.
Yeah. Not actual tigers, US listeners.
Rugby.
What's your favourite walkers, Selina?
I like walking.
That wasn't on the list.
Nope.
Dog walkers, I guess.
Nice.
Anywho, what have I been up to? Well, I have been camping, although not at the time of recording. I have been to Silverstone and, sat in a field for like 4 days and watched some F1. And whilst I've not been watching F1, I've been, blinding around the field. Camping's not the most conducive to blind people, I don't think. I mean, you can't use a cane in the field very well. The toilets are a long way away. And, the shower blocks are communal. It's just, it's not the most blinky friendly experience camping. Plus, it sucks.
Just the defeatism there, not the anger or the anguish. It was just you're so defeated when you mentioned the shower blocks.
They're just not good, are they? Like, I don't understand camping.
No, me neither. But like, at Glastonbury, right, they have accessible camping like areas, like a disabled section. Do they have that at Silverstone? Because apparently it's supposed to be really nice, that bit at Glastonbury, like the toilets.
Yes, but it tends to sell out very quickly. Also, they have accessible areas of camping when I've been to like Leeds Festival as well. It's exactly the same as regular camping. I've stayed in both, except the toilet blocks have a disabled toilet.
Okay.
As in, you can get a wheelchair in there. I think that's the only difference I've ever noticed. Otherwise, exactly the same.
Fun.
And I think the only difference to the disabled camping at Silverstone is you can take caravans on there if you wish. And they're slightly closer to the toilet blocks. So it's more of a 5-minute
But you don't
walk
need
as
if you've
opposed
got a
to
caravan. You don't need to go to the toilet block. You've got it on site.
Well, I'm staying in a tent, so my toilet is a piss bowl.
Lovely.
Good for those blinkies that can't be bothered to walk to the toilet in the pitch black, because also in camping, there's no fucking lights.
I did see a thing right on Dragon's Den years ago, and it was like this portable toilet for camping. I think
like a
it was
shiwi.
I don't really know what a shiwi is.
It's like basically, imagine a camping stool that you basically put a bin liner around and like
Yeah,
piss
it was like
into
that.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, shiwi.
Gross.
You don't have one of
Yeah,
those.
camping is gross. People need to get on board with the grossness, me included, because I currently find it gross.
Yeah.
Anywho, I'll have done that. And then we'll also have met everyone at Sight Village, but not Selina because she's pretending to work.
I'm proper working. I was actually going to come. I was like already tell you guys I'm coming, and then this happened. Special request.
Yeah. Not in the face of the blinkies. I can't come. I have a job.
I don't know why they do it on a weekday. Yeah.
Aren't all requests from disabled people special requests?
Yes.
Yes.
Good one.
Okay. What? Also, we will all have voted in that election, so things are getting better for disabled people now, right? Whatever.
We may or may not have a new government.
Oh yeah.
You can bet it will be exactly the fucking same.
Yeah, I guess for most people it will not change their daily lives.
No.
But we can all dream.
Yep.
What have you been up to, Selina?
By this point, I would have just come back from another England football camp.
Ooh, how did that go?
I'm sure it went pretty well. So we keep preparing for our upcoming fixtures later this year. I think we might be playing Sweden again. Might be on the cards before the Grand Prix in Argentina.
Will you be playing better than England have been doing thus far in the Euros?
I think we might be similar levels.
Okay. Well,
In
that's
true
good.
English style, you won't want to break the trend.
Do the bare minimum.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely.
And we actually got a topic today. It's a surprise that there is no topic.
I've got so much good stuff here as well. I've researched some blind news. I've done it all.
Let's do the QBN then.
QBN. Here we go. This comes from Disability News Service. Remember that?
No.
John Pring.
Yeah. DWP staff fail in 2/5 of cases to meet new standards aimed at stopping deaths.
Oh, lovely.
Depressing, right? Have you got anything that can top me on the depression scale, T?
I don't know. This happened at the Austrian Grand Prix. Formula One driver Yuki Tsunoda has said a slur in the pit. I'm not going to say what it was, but
It rhymes with bleehards.
yes,
I
ducking
see.
bleehards.
I
He
see.
was reprimanded by the FIA, the governing body of Formula One, fined $30,000, and his defense was English is not my first language, my second language. I didn't know what it meant. To which was pointed out to him, you said it in a very specific way, in a very specific situation. To say that it was a moment of ignorance and lack of understanding is a little bit questionable.
Maybe he just got lucky that it was contextually correct.
Maybe so, but he got in a lot of trouble for that.
Mm.
And of course, like the idiots came out going, "Oh, he's ableist," and it's like, no, get out of it. Yeah. So, not
Okay.
not depressing, but
Sort of funny.
I mean, yeah, kind of.
You got anything, Selena?
I don't know if it's news, information sharing. So TikTok, which I don't really know much
I've heard
about,
of that.
to be completely honest. The official Paralympics handle on TikTok have been sharing lots of videos, I guess, with the Paralympics coming up imminently. But there's been a bit of an uproar about one of the videos, well, multiple videos, but one that someone told me about is that they have a visually impaired triathlete coming out of the water and he's feeling around looking for his bike. But what they've done is they've put classical music over the top and like made out as if he's playing the piano, and people are saying like this is offensive and mocking, and I don't really know because obviously I can't see the video. I don't know.
All we need to in that scenario for me, all that really needs to happen is the person that came out of the water that's feeling around is for him to come out and say that video is fucking hilarious, and then everyone should be okay with it.
Yeah.
If he's genuine, well, if that person's genuinely offended, then fine. Then let's take the classical music away and let's do that. But if they feel like it's just funny, then disabled people need to have a little bit of fun and fucking line up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's hilarious. I'm a part of the community, so I think it's great. That's a really creative way of doing it.
But is it showcasing his ability, or is it just making him look like a fool?
It's okay to have a little bit of fun every now and again,
Yeah.
right? Surely. And he's a triathlete at the end of the day.
Yeah.
So we already know they're good.
Yeah. Exactly. It's like you see all these videos of misfortune happening to people, and you just got to have a little bit of like, schadenfreude, a little bit of fun about it. Like that Welsh woman who got caught in the shutters of a door and got lifted up like 8 foot, but her jacket got stuck in it. Hilarious. She was fine, but it was hilarious to watch the CCTV footage as it just went up and she just rose 8 foot. It's great.
I've got some other little bits of non-news for you as well whilst we're on there.
Right.
Policeman that lost his sight in 9/11 aftermath targets golf success. So good luck to golfing, I guess. And from our, I'd say friends, but we don't really reference them that often. Anyway, RNIB News. Apparently, they run some sort of writing competition every year with applicants encouraged to write poetry or prose about how they appreciate art, a museum visit, or a household object that has inspired them.
Okay.
Sounds dull, doesn't it?
It sounds very RNIB.
Anyway, a person called Ashley Ford McAllister won, so I guess whatever.
Okay.
Maybe I should go in for it.
I know one writer on the show, and they're probably not as good as them, so
yeah,
fuck them. All right, next up. RNIB, mate. When have we ever been nice?
No,
Okay.
that's true.
Oh, apparently, I've actually written it down here as well. They were probably quite good. I mean, they won a competition. It was with a piece of writing called The Goldless Kintsugi, and I'm not sure if I've said that right.
Right. Okay.
It's not English, so Selina wasn't impressed.
I
Lena's
just want to know
reaction.
what the topic is. What's the topic?
Yes.
Okay, let's get to this topic, shall we? That's the admin sorted.
So here's the thing. I was thinking to myself, we haven't done anything that has been
I'm more nervous as soon as you said
Uh,
here's the thing.
ad-libbed for a while,
You
and
sound like you've got
those
quite a
episodes.
smile on your face as
Oh,
well. like-
I absolutely do. Yeah, this is going to be worse as well when I tell you what the topic is. And you know they've been met with usually generally quite poor reception. Superheroes, anyone?
Yeah.
However, I thought, wouldn't it be fun if we just did a topic that no one really knew about and we just discuss it? So,
But why can't we have pre-warning about it?
With no preparation. Okay.
well, sometimes I think it's great just to get people's initial responses on things.
Okay.
And I can tell you two are definitely behind me on this.
Okay.
Here is my topic. People are nice.
What?
I mean, you did hint at the topic when you sent your email a nice Cleaves topic.
There you go. I'd already pre-warned you, you just didn't realize. Now, here's what made me think about this, right? I found in quite a few little mini situations recently where I've been walking along, blinding along with my cane, that just people have been quite nice to me. Like the other day, someone was talking outside of the pub, just a couple of them, and they specifically moved out the way, and they just said, "We've just moved for you. You're okay to move." I find a lot of people on my way to work. Now, I don't know if this is a thing in the blind community where this has become a thing or not, but people will say like morning or hello or afternoon or something like that as a way to let me know that they're there without it being awkward. Again, quite a nice little thing to do. I was walking across the zebra crossing the other day, and I'd walked out from one side, and on the other side, a person on like a moped scooter went across, and okay, I was walking across the zebra crossing, and perhaps that wasn't nice of them to go across to the side. I was never gonna hit them, but then a person on my side where I walked from shouted at the guy on the moped and went, "You should stop, you dickhead." I'm not saying that's nice either, but it's nice that someone stick up for you.
Yeah.
So it got me thinking, because we hear a lot of bad things talked about people. If I thought it'd be nice if we spoke about maybe times we've had when people have been nice to other disabled people, or maybe you've been nice to someone else and helped them out in some way, and been a bit positive for once.
Okay, but why can't we have pre-warning about this topic? I don't understand.
Well, I don't know, because
Because he wasn't being nice.
No, exactly.
no, I'm not saying I'm a nice person. I'm just saying, do what you do.
No, I've got to think of things on the spot.
Do you find, generally speaking, that when you're out and about, people are nice to you? Like, do they recognize your mobility aids and make a point of helping you? Would you say that's a thing, generally speaking?
Generally,
Yeah.
yes. Yeah.
God, I hope I've got more questions.
Yeah. No,
Great episode.
no. I think generally, yes. I mean, you get your dickheads everywhere. But
Well, that was going to be my next question. Have you ever had it where people have seen your mobility aids and either not paid attention or deliberately been a bit of an arse about it?
yeah, I've absolutely had that happen. It's sad that we live in a world where those are the things that stand out in my mind more than the nice things.
Well, what kind of things have happened to you?
What nice things?
Or bad?
I get asked if I need help in the shops quite a lot, which I don't usually. I mean, there's been a few occasions where I have asked for help, and it was because I was looking for something very specific, and they helped me, and that was nice of them. But usually, I don't take the assistance but it's nice to be offered. I much prefer that than, people reaching over me when I'm trying to look at stuff, which I don't think is very nice.
What do you mean reaching over you?
Oh, like if I'm reading like the edge of a shelf just to see like the price of something, and then someone basically reaches over my head to grab something. And yeah,
I'm not sure that's a disabled thing though, because
no, that's just an
people would
arsehole
just
thing.
do that anyway if people were like bent down to pick up something on the bottom shelf.
Yeah, but I've had people like reach over my head and stuff like that. It's just a bit mad. Yeah, I know people are in a rush and all that, but I don't know. Maybe don't do that. Maybe wait 5 seconds.
It's not the hardest life if that's the worst thing that's ever happened to you, though, is it?
No. Like I've had people. I notice it a fair amount. It's usually with youngsters, but when you're using a long cane or a guide dog, and like there's a situation where I can roughly see them coming, in certain circumstances, and sometimes they do the whole playing chicken with me, like trying to move at the last second. Um, I have had it happen with my long cane once, and then I just jammed my cane to the side as he sort of like dived out the way at the end. Um, and he went down, which his mates laughed at him, which was funny. But
So who was nice in that situation?
Yeah.
Because it sounds like no
me for educating them.
I
Don't
don't
fuck with
know.
tea.
You're making it look like blind people are horrible people and fakes.
Well, yeah, but I weren't trying to get a free cheesecake.
I had a nice experience, inverted comments, recently with a young person because you're giving young people a bad name. So I got onto a very busy train. I just had my cane. I didn't have Riley. Like people were standing in the corridors and stuff, and I kind of just hovered for a second whilst I debated whether to like go down and I'll ask someone if there's a seat free when I clearly knew there wasn't any seat free. And this lad got up in the corridor, one of those pulley down seats on the train, said, "Oh, would you like this seat?" I was like, "Oh, thank you." Took his seat, but then he went on to interrogate me. um, he saw my bag that I had a Commonwealth bag that I was carrying. It's like, "Did you go to the Commonwealth?" I was like, yeah. And I was kind of thinking at first, how did he even know that? Then I realized afterwards it was because of my bag. And then he asked, like, it was just asking loads of questions, like, "Are you actually blind? How much can you see? Did you go to school? Which school did you go to? How do you do this?" And like, okay. And then the way I dealt with it, I was just giving him really long answers so he wouldn't ask me any more questions, and then started asking him questions about himself. But yeah, it was nice of him to give me a seat. And I guess it was nice that he wanted to learn about disability.
That's going to be my question next. Do you think it was nice that he might have asked all you these questions, and therefore he doesn't have to ask someone else those questions? He probably asked some different questions, but still.
Yeah. And he was just like, he's doing his GCSEs, I then established, when he wanted to find out which school I went to, which was obviously a long time ago. And I was like, "Oh, what about you?" And I was like, "Oh." So yeah, it was all right in the end. A bit weird and awkward, very personal.
So what was his last questions? What station are you getting off? What are your number?
Oh, we did no, because
what are your
then,
dinner plans?
we got to the next stop, and then quite a few people got off the train. So he then went to go and get a seat, but his final words were to me were, "I'll be back." Oh God, that he didn't come back. He was going to Birmingham as well, but I didn't see him in Birmingham.
He saw you.
Yeah.
He followed you everywhere.
Drink time.
Yeah. Oh well. I mean, that is nice. That is nice. And there are times where I will be asked if I want to sit down, like on the train or on the tram, and there's times where I just decline. It's like, no, I'm fine. But then there's other times where it's quite busy, and I'm like, for all those times I declined, I could really do with a seat now, someone to put the dog underneath, and that'd be really convenient on this busy tram, but never comes up. It's usually when it's quiet, someone's like, "Oh, do you want this seat?" And it's like, "Nah, I'm all right."
Mm.
But then people asking, I used to be quite like, I used to chat a lot with people about, like, they'd ask the questions about, oh, are you actually blind? And how much can you see? And I used to be quite forthcoming with it. And now I'm not
You know,
because I don't think there's any of their fucking business.
but they're curious.
I don't,
Don't we have this conversation a lot?
yeah.
That maybe who is responsible for educating people on this?
Education is fine, but knowing about me, I don't think necessarily. Like, asking me how much I can see is me asking someone, like, how much do you eat? You know what I mean? It's a very personal,
That's what I
individual
mean. Then ask
aspect.
people the questions back. That's what I did for this kid.
Yeah.
Start
How much
asking
can you see?
Yeah. I'm self-conscious about your big ears. Honestly. But no, I don't know. It depends on the day. But I find people are usually quite nice.
Do
Bit
you
conceited.
find that one particular group of people aren't very nice towards disabled people? And I'm not just talking about your standard
Other disabled
deliberate
people aren't
racists.
nice to disabled people.
Yeah.
Okay, that's interesting.
Yeah, I probably agree with that with the interactions I've had with
I went
others.
Harry Potter World a few years ago. Went to I didn't have a cane out or anything. I was just
a wand.
with Santi. Yeah. I don't think I had my cane in. I don't think I had anything. Went in to use the disabled toilets. There's this lady who obviously had a disability as well. I was like, "Are you even disabled?" And then you had Santi shouting at her, "Yeah, blah blah," and me shouting at her, "Yeah, I'm blind." And then she got all like, "Oh, but people always ask me if I'm disabled." And then it was a bit awkward. But yes, she was quite rude in her asking.
You would think that if a person has a disability, they would know better.
Yeah.
What's with all this
And then
dishonest
apparently Santi
violence?
said she was on crutches and then she just went into the ladies anyway and didn't wait for the disabled toilet. So it's not like she couldn't use the normal toilets, whereas I couldn't at that time because I didn't have a cane. And was he Santi can't guide me in the ladies?
Mm.
No, that's fair.
Just the standard for me and too. Yeah.
No, that's fair. I can't think of any specific. Oh, I had an argument with a guy in a wheelchair once, on the bus because I was in the bay bit and the bus was quite busy and I had Ted with me, like under the seat, and it was quite busy. And then
Yeah,
he
but
got
where
on
else
the.
did he go in the wheelchair? Oh my god, you should have moved. You're a horrible disabled person.
Okay, I'm going to continue with my story. So I'd been on the bus for 10 minutes. He got on there, and the driver didn't tell him that there was no space. Like, I think there was like some prams on there as well, which never came up. The guy just came straight to me and said, "Oh, can you move?" I was like, "No, there's nowhere to put my dog because I can't put the dog on the roof." Like,
So yeah,
I've
you were
been
rude
here
in
for,
your response. Yes,
yeah. I was like,
that's not very nice.
"Oh, he could wait for the next fucking bus."
Oh my god, he was on that bus, and you could just move.
He was already in a chair. Ain't
It's not like he
legs were
needs to
gonna
sit
get
down.
fucking fired, is it? Jesus Christ. Why am I gonna get off the bus when I've been on there 10
You don't need to
minutes?
get off the bus. You just need to move to a normal seat.
There was no seats. The bus was packed.
Yeah, you just should have got up, asked someone sorry, and then
Yeah, and just stood in the aisle with my guide dog so people can step on him and hurt him.
no, someone else would have offered you a seat.
No, they wouldn't have.
Wheelchair space.
No, they absolutely wouldn't have. Because they were students.
And I'm gonna need a phone
Yeah.
charger. So because this will take this long. 1 minute.
While Selena's doing that, can we please all remember our disability hierarchy? Quadriplegic, paraplegic, blind, deaf, norm.
You missed out a lot there.
Nope, there it goes.
No, you missed a lot of.
In terms of who gets priority over what on a bus, that's how it rolls.
No. No, if I'm in the disabled bay and I'm on there first, that's it. If there is somewhere that I can move to, if a wheelchair gets on, I will. but there was nowhere to move to, and I was not going to get off the bus. And that's just how it was.
So really, it's just a toss-up between who stands/sits in the aisle.
Basically. And like I said, I seem to recall there were prams on there as well, so could have gone to them and got one of them to move.
So would have had to get their child out of the pram.
Yep.
And fold the pram up.
Yep.
On a busy bus, and that sweet child was sleeping, and it would have been woken up rudely just because you wouldn't move.
Yeah.
So was Tony's dog.
Yeah, my dog was asleep. Didn't want to wake him up.
Nah, Ted would have been on it if it was Ted.
Yeah, it was Ted.
Yeah, he'd have been happy to move.
Nah, you don't know. You never met
him. You won't let me.
Nope.
Okay. Anyway,
right, let's move on.
Here's my other question. When disabled people are mean to other disabled people, or just generally, in fact, non-disabled people, normies, whatever you want to call them, abled, are mean to disabled people, does this then give this like horrible perception that people just aren't very nice to disabled people, and that can be intimidating for some people? Maybe they don't want to go out as much.
I think it's called internal ableism.
Whatever. I don't need these words. Could you see how many times it took me just to get to the word abled this then?
Yeah. I think potentially. And I think it doesn't help if you're on all of these social media places like X or Twitter or Facebook and you hear about all of these horrible things. I think that's gonna, if you only see the worst of things, you'll always expect the worst.
I saw something on X the other day where a wedding car had parked on some bobbly pavement or something.
Oh my god. Shocking.
This person was going like nuts.
Seriously.
Apparently the person in the wedding car had asked them if they needed any help to get across the street. Now, from what I understand from the post that I saw, the person with the disability didn't say to them, "I'm fine, but you probably shouldn't park there." I think they said, "I'm fine, and I'm going to go home and bitch about it massively on X."
Yeah.
They didn't say that, obviously, but that's the way it came across. So who's nice in that scenario? Because it feels like no one.
Well, it depends on the context of it. You're only hearing from the perspective of the disabled person.
True.
So,
but would it have not been nicer if they'd politely said to them, you shouldn't be parked on tactile paving. It's difficult for someone like myself. Maybe there's a tangible positive outcome to be had there, whereas I'm not quite sure that there was by just simply moaning through social media.
Well, no, but they get validation from the rest of the miserable pricks.
Nice, T, nice.
I'm not saying that all of them on there are. I'm just saying there are a group of miserable, disabled people on social media, and they perpetuate these negative aspects. And it's nicer to feel like you're a part of a community and have a bit of a whinge about it than try and proactively do it, because you don't get shares and retweets for that.
Sorry.
My question was going to be, are disabled people nice to people that don't know any better? And if we're not, should we be nicer? Because in that interaction, okay, the person probably should have known a little bit better, not parking on that tactile paving, but they did also try and help this disabled person around them. And it's a person's wedding. I maybe cut them a bit of slack. Do you know what I mean? It's the big day. So should we be a bit nicer to people that don't know better? Even, you know, they were still well-meaning. They just fucked up in that instance.
Yes.
Yeah, we should be. We should be.
I am.
But we're not going to be.
I think
I felt that was the but there that was coming up.
Everyone should try to be nicer in general, not just to disabled people. Everyone should be, kindness goes a long way. It really does.
No, this is true. Like when my mum gets angry in shops, like if there's a long queue or something, and then I always tell her, like, don't make smart like comments when she gets to the front of the line about, or something's not going right. It's like, it's not their fault. I always, yeah.
No.
And it's just things like that, even just little things like that, having patience for things, and having other like people like I know I said that I don't really like people asking about my site as much now, but I'm not horrible about it. Like I'm just a little bit, there have been a few occasions where I say I'd rather not answer that.
But that's a nice way to answer at least.
Yeah, I'm not an arsehole about it, but there have been a few occasions where I said I'd rather not answer that. It's a bit personal.
Did you then go home on X and say, people should know better?
Yeah, absolutely.
Why don't they do my exact condition?
Yeah, but there's nice ways to do it, and I think if we are just all a little bit nicer to each other in general, then it would be a lot better for everyone. Like we all benefit from that.
Should we be promoting these acts of kindness through socials instead?
I think that that's something that should be done, but then unfortunately, you're damned if you do, damned if you don't, because you'll get called out by the miserable pricks who think you're virtue signaling and stuff like that. Like I can't remember when this was. It was someone I worked with put on their Instagram that they'd bought a coffee for someone or something. And the amount of hate they got, like, oh well, a good deed isn't a good deed if you tell everyone about it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I kind of agree with that, but they did do a nice thing.
Gosh.
And maybe they wanted to inspire other people to do something nice like that.
Yeah.
But they got a lot of flack for that. And then, she was quite upset. And I was like, well, I'm not going to do that ever again. It put her off the whole idea of doing it.
That is a crying shame.
It is. And just because people are toxic online, you can't win.
So in summary, people, buy someone a coffee.
Yeah.
And if they don't like coffee, make it a decaf.
Yep.
Or a tea.
Or
a
buy
hot
an old
chocolate.
lady a loaf of bread. I did that a few weeks back.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not sure that story's true, but
No. I was in co-op. She was just getting some bread. And I don't know why I did it. But I just said, like, she only had bread in her basket. So I'll get her bread as well. And the bloke went, all right. I don't know why I did it, to be honest. And I felt a bit weird afterwards. But she's just
I get it, T. You're just telling everyone all about it. A good deed is not a good deed, T, if you just make it up and tell everyone about it.
I know. At me on Twitter. Tell me how much of a piece of shit I am. If I was really virtue signaling, I would have taken that shit loaf back and got a nicer loaf.
Yeah, what you forget. Co-op value loaf.
Yeah, I think it was. I don't know. I would have gone back and got an expensive one. Done a shopping for her. Well, she needs some eggs. Oh, yeah, some eggs.
I wouldn't want a blind person doing my shopping. I never know what to come out with.
A bad mood. But unless Cleaves has some more questions.
Nope. Be nice.
Be nice. Why don't you tell us about some of the nice interactions you have had?
We just had a load of nice interactions at Site Village, hopefully.
Yes. Come and see us.
Nope.
Or say hello if you see us.
Nope.
No, you saw us. Thanks for seeing us.
Yes. Thanks for seeing us at Site
It's
Village.
lovely to meet you.
It was great to meet you. But not Selina.
No.
Because she wasn't there. But until next time, play nice.
Thank you for listening to Seesaw Podcast. Your feedback and comments mean a lot to us, so if you'd like to get in touch, you can do so in the following ways.
You can find us on X at Seesaw Pod, Facebook, Instagram and YouTube at Seesaw Podcast. You can email us at seesawpodcast@gmail.com and you can stream with us live every week on Twitch at Seesaw Podcast.
Remember to like, rate, review and share with a friend.
This podcast was recorded in front of a blind audience.